Hello and welcome to online edu classes of Brilliant Public School by Kailash Kumar sir. Today in this video we are going to study another important chapter of class 5 English literature, that is chapter 11, The Nose, written by Nikolai Gogol, and this is going to be first part of our video. So let's begin. Before moving further, let us see about the author. Nikolai Gogol was born in the year 1809 and died in the year 1852. He was a Russian author and playwright of Ukrainian origin. He was born in the Sorkintsy, which is in Ukraine. His first collection of stories includes Evening on a Farm near Daikanka, was published in the year 1832, and to his achievement it was applauded and appreciated worldwide. It was an instant hit. He went on to pen down some very popular short stories like The Nose, which was published in the year 1836. This story we are going to study in this video. And The Overcoat, which was published in the year 1842. He liked writing satires. Satires is a literary device or literary term. Satire is a literary weapon directed against persons or institutions that the author or the poet believes should be corrected. Satire means a way of criticizing a person, an idea, or an institution in which you use humor to show their faults or weaknesses. In his writings, he often mocked at the flaws he found in the society during the days of the Russian Empire. Next, let us see about the chapter. The Nose was written in 1836. Gogol wrote the story during the time he spent in St. Petersburg. Gogol himself had a very oddly shaped nose, of which he would often make fun in his personal letters. Here, Gogol has employed wit to present the nose as an independent being. He has personified his nose, that it has created its own identity. So, let's continue. Chapter 11, The Nose, is running. Kovalyov woke up rather early and made a bring noise with his lips. He always did this when he woke up, though if you asked him why, he could not give any good reason. Kovalyov stretched himself and asked for the small mirror that stood on the table to be brought over to him. Actually, Kovalyov doesn't have the habit of waking up early in the morning. But that very morning, there was something wrong on his face. Therefore, to see what was wrong on his face, to inspect the thing, the matter, he asked for that small mirror which was kept on the table to be brought over to him so that he can easily see what actually was wrong on his face. He wanted to have a look at a pimple that had made its appearance on his nose the previous evening. But to his extreme astonishment, to his extreme surprise, he found that instead of a nose, there was nothing but an absolutely flat surface. So it was a matter of really great surprise. He was too much worried that there was nothing on his face. Instead of his nose, there was absolutely a flat surface. In a terrible panic, Kovalyov asked for some water and rubbed his eyes with a towel. No mistake about it, his nose had gone. He began pinching himself to make sure he was not sleeping, but to all intents and purposes, he was wide awake. Kovalyov sprang out of bed and shook himself. Still no nose. He quickly got ready and off he dashed straight to the head of police. So it was a great panic for him that he did not find his nose on his face. He even tried to pinch himself. He even rubbed his eyes with a towel. He washed his face uh, to know to confirm whether he was not sleeping. But to all intents and purposes, he was wide awake. He was actually waking that time. So now the next was Covalio sprang out of bed and shook himself. Then also no nose. So he got quickly ready and off ran towards the head of police to lodge a complaint. He loved referring to himself as Major and had come to St. Petersburg with the set purpose of finding a position in keeping with his rank. Actually, he wanted that he should get respect from people. Therefore, he used to call himself a major. If he was lucky, he would get a vice governorship, but failing that, a job as an administrative clerk in some important government department would have to do. So, he expected to get a job, a position as vice governorship. But if suppose he fails in achieving that, he would satisfy himself as an administrative clerk in some important government department. Major Covalio was not averse, he was not opposed to marriage, as long as his bride happened to be worth 200,000 rubles or 2 lakh rubles. 1 ruble is equivalent to 96 paise as per Indian rupee. Ruble is a Russian unit of money or currency. In short, Covalio had a very high opinion about himself. Actually, Major Covalio wanted that his bride should possess a wealth of 200,000 rubles. Then only he will think about marriage. And now the reader can judge for himself how this major felt when, instead of a fairly presentable and reasonably sized nose, all he saw was an absolutely ridiculous, very silly, smooth, flat surface. And now, as we are the reader here, now we can judge for Covalio that how he would be feeling now. That without a nose on his face, how can he think about marriage? And what about his respect in the society? So let us see next. Suddenly, all of his aspirations, all of his expectations seemed to go downhill, seemed to become worse. Why? Actually, he was going to register a complaint in a police station about missing of his nose. But when he came out of his home, there was not a single cab, there was not a single taxi, so that he can easily hide himself in the taxi and go to the nearest police station. As if this were not bad enough, there was not a cab in sight and had to walk, keeping himself huddled up. Huddled up means held one's arms and legs close to one's body. So he huddled up himself in his cloak and with a handkerchief over his face to make people think he was bleeding. And to disguise other people, he kept a handkerchief over his nose so that people may think he was bleeding. Next, suddenly he stood rooted to the spot near the front door of some house and witnessed a most incredible sight. Suddenly he stopped near the front door of some house, and what he saw was really unbelievable for him. A carriage drew up at the entrance porch, at the entrance of the veranda. The doors flew open. Out jumped a uniformed, stooping gentleman who dashed up the steps. And when the doors of that carriage opened, he saw that a gentleman who was a little bit stooping ahead, stooping forward, and it was wearing a uniform. He came out of that carriage and immediately walked up towards the steps of the house. The feelings of horror and amazement that gripped Covalio When he recognized his own nose defies description, he was totally filled with horror and amazement. Coelho recognized that his own nose has created its separate identity. He easily recognized that the gentleman who came out of that carriage was his own nose. After this extraordinary sight, everything went topsy turvy, everything became confusing. He could hardly keep to his feet, he could hardly keep himself stand there, but decided at all costs to wait until the nose returned to the carriage, although he was shaking all over and felt quite feverish. So, anyhow, he decided that he will wait there and he will watch what will happen next. Although he was all the time while standing there, he was shaking and he was filled with excitement. About 2 minutes later, a nose really did come out. So, after 2 minutes, the nose came out. It was wearing a gold braided uniform, gold embedded uniform with a high stand up collar and chamois trousers. Chamois is a type of leather, so he was wearing that leather trousers and had a sword at its side. From the plumes on its hat, one could tell that it held the exalted rank of state councillor. Exalted rank means very high rank of a state councillor. A councillor is a member of a council or a group of people that governs an area. So this was the matter of great astonishment, great surprise for him. And it was abundantly clear that the nose was going to visit someone. It looked right, then left, shouted to the coachman, "Let's go," climbed in and drove off. So it was very clear that the nose was going to visit someone. After 2 minutes, when he returned, it looked right, then left, and shouted to the coachman, "Let's go." He climbed in the carriage and drove off from that place. So children, this much in this video. I hope this much is clear to everyone and you all have understood. If suppose, then you please do watch the video, and the remaining things we'll study in the next part. So thank you all. Have a blessed day.